So I thought we could do a little get ready with me today. I'm going to be doing my everyday natural summer makeup, which is basically the makeup that I had on in Thursday's video. I saw a couple of comments asking for a makeup tutorial on it, and to be honest, this is pretty much my go-to makeup for like summertime, holiday. Yeah, just when it's hotter, just because I feel like it's a little bit more natural and minimal and it doesn't feel as heavy on the face, but it still looks really put together, which is what I really like about it. So it's super simple, super easy. Any steps that are a little bit trickier, obviously you can skip those out. You can do this however you want to do it. And the products that I use at the minute, a lot of them are more on the expensive side, I want to say, which hopefully you don't mind. If you want me to do a similar look with more drugstore products, then I can do that as well. But this is kind of like my holy grails at the minute in terms of what I like to use on my face. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I've already gone ahead and done my brows. For brows, I always start with the Anastasia Brow Freeze. This is literally my favorite brow product to start with. It's really, really great in terms of the formula, the consistency. I feel like it just gives you that really perfect feathered brow look, which is something that I really like because my brows aren't naturally particularly thick, so I like to make them look a little bit bushier with this product. I just use a little spoolie, literally just pop it in my brows and then flatten it down to the skin, and then I'll basically go around the top just to kind of like round them off a little bit so they look a little bit more rounded and put together. And then in terms of pencil, at the minute I'm using the Huda Beauty brow pencil in the shade 6 Rich Brown. I tend to go back and forth between this one and the Refi pencil just because they're both really thin in terms of like the actual pencil themselves. So before I finish my brows off, I'm gonna do a little bit of skin. I feel like I always like to focus on skincare when I'm doing more minimal makeup just because my skin's gonna be coming through a lot more. We're not gonna do any foundation in this video, so I really want to like prep the skin and just make it look as good as it can on its own. So for moisturizer, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I've not actually used this in quite a while, but they very kindly sent one over and they've actually put, can you see that? They've put like my name on the top, which I just thought was like the cutest little touch. But yeah, I'm just gonna literally massage this into the skin. I have quite dry skin, even in the summertime, which is kind of weird because I feel like when I was younger I probably used to get more like combination oily skin in the summer, obviously because it's warmer, but I don't know what it is. My skin has been so dry recently, even on my body. Like the amount of body moisturizer and like body products I'm having to use just to like stop my skin from feeling dry is crazy. I'm gonna do my neck as well because I feel like it's always good to do your neck. I feel like it's nice to just for everything to look cohesive in terms of the texture. So obviously when you put moisturizer on, it makes your skin look a little bit more glowy, so you kind of want like everything to match, if you know what I mean. Do you know what? I love doing skincare as well. Like this is sometimes my favorite part of doing my makeup, is just like sitting and like really pushing products like into the skin. I just think it's so relaxing. Okay, and then next up I'm gonna do eye cream. So this is just the Antipodes Kiwi Seed Oil eye cream. I've literally nearly run out of this now. Like it's basically empty. I'm just gonna pop that under my eyes. I always try like not to be too rough around my eyes, but I feel like I literally slap eye cream on, like it's not gonna give me wrinkles at 30. Such a beautiful day outside today. I'm so excited. Me and my boyfriend are going to York for the weekend, which will already be back by the time you're watching this. We've been trying really hard to like find things to do. I feel like there's actually quite a lot to do in York, and we were supposed to go at the start of the year for his birthday, but we both had COVID over Christmas, which I don't think I ever spoke about in a video because I was literally feeling so not great at the time. But yeah, we both had COVID when we were supposed to go, so we never got around to going. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping the weather's gonna stay like this because I don't know, I feel like it's like a nice place to like go around and explore. I'm next gonna go in with the Supergoop Glow Screen. I am obsessed with this stuff. I think it was Rach that actually got me into this, and Literally have not stopped using it since. Just looks like so. It's just like a really nice like glowy product. So I'm just gonna pop this on. I always like to try and make my skin as glowy as possible, just because I think that looks really pretty in the summertime as well. I mean, I say in the summertime, I literally do that all year round. I just like using anything that's gonna add a little bit of glow, and I'm definitely more like conscious of using SPF now that I'm like 24. I'm getting older. I feel like I'm actually making the effort to try and look after my skin. I think I'm gonna do concealer next. That is what I'd usually do. So for concealer, I've got the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Almond. I'm literally just gonna spot conceal with this. So I've got a couple of blemishes down there, a couple of little spots on my forehead, which are absolutely not welcome. So we're gonna just cover those up. But yeah, this is, in terms of my concealers, this is the one that's like closest to my skin right now. So I'm literally just gonna spot conceal, and I always do around my nose and also like a little bit on my smile lines. You don't really need a lot of this because it goes a really long way, but I'm just gonna take my sponge. Just has like a really nice amount of coverage as well. Like I feel like your skin still shows through, but it has enough coverage to kind of like cover up any little blemishes. And I take the excess like a little bit underneath my cheekbones, just because it gives like a really natural contour as well to the cheeks, which I am going to do cream bronzer in a second. I feel like you have to work with this concealer kind of quick as well. Like it does definitely sets down and dries. I don't actually use any powder when I do this makeup, which I feel like if you've got more oily skin then you might have to, but because my skin's quite dry naturally, I can literally get away with doing this and not putting any powder on, because I feel like this concealer does set down a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like buff that out. I have kind of used it as a foundation, to be honest, but just in the areas that I want coverage. And then I'm also gonna do a little dot of this under my brows, and I'm gonna use that to clean up, and then I'm gonna do a tiny bit around the top as well, because I do still have a little bit of scarring from my microblading, which I literally got done years ago at this point, and it still shows through, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Just to clean up, and it also, adding a little bit of concealer here will just like lift the brow a little bit as well. And I'm just gonna go around. I'm literally using a really light hand when I do this, because the idea is that it like cleans things up, but you can't, it kind of looks like undetectable on the skin. And then once I've kind of done as much as I can with the brush, I just go in with like the smaller end of the sponge and just buff it down. I don't really take the concealer like all the way onto the lid either, because I kind of want a little bit of like the colour from my eyelids still to come through, just because we are trying to make this look as natural as possible. So I'm only really using this just to like clean up around the brows. Next step is probably one of my favorites. This is the Milk Makeup Cream Bronzer. I have literally worn this product to the ground. It's just like a cream bronzer stick. The brush that I'm going to use is an hourglass brush. It just looks like so. It's like an angled, kind of like an angled foundation brush, and I literally just get a little bit on the bristles, and I'm going to apply this basically like on the top of my cheekbone. It is kind of pigmented, and I always forget that, even though I've used it basically every single day for the past like 3 years. If you get too much on the brush, you can kind of just like press it off on your hands. Yeah, I'm going to do this on the top of my cheekbone, just because again, it makes the face look a little bit more lifted. I feel like I always used to apply bronzer products quite low down, and it does still buff down, like when you're pressing it into the skin, it still kind of like blends into this section that's like underneath the cheekbone, but it just makes everything look a little bit more lifted. Kind of looks like you're a little bit flush from like the sun, or like you just caught the sun a little bit. And then I do the same around my forehead, and I kind of only really focus it on like the outer portions of my forehead. It does look a little bit heavy at first, but I'm gonna go back in with the sponge. So I just kind of like, I start towards the top where my hairline is, and then as I've got less product, I'll just bring it down a little bit. Also gonna do my chin, and I don't like to do too much on my chin and my jaw just because a lot of the time I go overboard and then I get like a really obvious line here, and I feel like it's easier done when you've got less makeup on, like it looks more unblended. So I'm not gonna use it too much, but I do just like to kind of like finish the face off there. And then my favorite step to do with this, I use more of like the tip of the brush, like where the very top of the angle is. You can see I've got a bit of product on it there. And I basically go on the sides of my nose. And then something I've done more recently is like bringing it up underneath the brow. It's so subtle, but I feel like it makes so much difference in the sense of just like, it just finishes the face off. Like I feel like I never used to do cream bronzer on my nose, and I don't really do it if I'm doing a full face. Like I'd rather do powder, but I like doing it when I'm doing natural makeup just because it's a really natural contour. I do it with this brush. You can do it with a smaller brush if you want to, but I kind of like that it looks just like a little bit not perfect, if that makes any sense. Like I don't want it to look like I've done a full-blown nose contour, if you know what I mean. It kind of adds a little bit of definition to the eyes as well, which I quite like. And then similarly, I'm gonna go underneath, just like apply a little bit to the bottom of my nose. I am gonna blend all of this out. Like I know it looks really harsh at the minute, but I'm just getting the initial product there. Gorgeous, finished look done. I'm not really like blending this out. I'm literally just going on top of it because you don't wanna kind of like disturb the line, but you do just want to kind of like absorb any of the excess and like blend it into the skin. And then with the round end, I'm just gonna go over the skin again, just to like really work it in. This step is optional because I feel like this is a little bit trickier, or like some people might find wing liner a little bit trickier. So you don't have to do this if you want to keep it really, really easy. But I'm gonna go into my Kylie palette. This is the Bronze Palette, and I'm gonna use an Anastasia 7B brush. It's just like a really thin liner brush, and I'm basically gonna do a very, very small shadow liner just because I've obviously got lash extensions on, and this is something that I really love to do because for me it's super quick and easy in the sense of I can just like stamp it on the corner of my eyes, drag it back to the lash line a tiny bit. I don't do a full wing, but I just do an outer corner wing. And again, I always feel like it looks really natural, but it also just adds like a little finishing touch to the makeup. I'm gonna use the black shades, and I'm literally gonna stamp it and just follow the shape of what my lash extensions are, and then bring it back to the lash line. And then I'm gonna take my little spoolie. They're actually bamboo spoolies, which I found on Amazon. And I'm literally just gonna comb my lash extensions just because I try really hard to look after them. Like I try as hard as I can to like make them last like as long as they can. When did I get these done? I got these done before Coachella, so I've had them on for like 2 weeks now, and they're still looking really full, which I really like. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of brush those into place like so. And you can see that wing liner just like adds a little bit of something, but it's not like doing a full eye look. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to the skin. I don't really know why I do this in this order, but for some reason I like to do this after I've done liner. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm in the shade Pinkgasm, and this is like a newer step that I've done recently because I basically saw this in my makeup collection and I was like, I don't know why I never used that. Like it looks really pretty. So I'm basically gonna get some of this on the back of my hand. Do you know, I love these products from Charlotte Tilbury so much, but the applicator, we need to do something about this applicator. I feel like I need it to be different. Now just apply this to the apples of my cheeks, kind of up towards the cheekbone. It like acts as a highlighter and a blush at the same time, which is what I really like because I love having kind of like that flushed effect, but I still like it to look really dewy and just like glowy. And I quite like using these with my hands. I just feel like they kind of push into the skin really nicely. I actually do a little bit on my forehead today as well. I feel like it gives you like a very ethereal look. Like I don't feel like everyone will like having this much blush, but I quite like it at the minute, so we're gonna run with it. And then last but not least, I'm gonna do lips, which I used to just like leave this makeup here and just put a gloss on over the top, but recently I've liked lining my lips a little bit with this kind of makeup too. So another Charlotte Tilbury product. I feel like I'm such a Charlotte Tilbury girl. I just love her products so much. Yeah, I'll try and link some like dupes down below for similar products if you want something a little bit more affordable. But this is the shade Pillow Talk, and I wouldn't usually use this shade if I was doing a full face because it is basically my lip color. So when I'm doing like a full face of makeup, I like my lips to be a little bit darker, so I'll usually use something like Hot Gossip, which is a bit deeper. This pretty much matches my lips like bang on, so I just use a really light hand because I don't really like it to look like I'm wearing lip liner. I don't really feel like I suit it without foundation sometimes. I don't know, I feel like I just don't like to overdo it. I don't like to overline them too much when I've got more natural makeup on, so I'm just gonna follow my lip line and kind of focus on filling out the center of the lip a little bit more, just so that that looks a little bit more pouty. Usually I put a clear gloss over this. Excuse me. Usually I'd put a clear gloss over this, but I don't know where it's gone. I usually use like the Fenty clear gloss. So I think I'm gonna regret this, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced lip injection in the shade Bubblegum Yum. Is it just me, or are these glosses from Too Faced, like don't get me wrong, they absolutely do the job, like they really do look like lip filler, but they are so painful. Like I don't know if my pain tolerance is just so low, but I struggle to wear these, so I feel like I'm literally gonna put this on and regret it in like 2 seconds. But it's kind of like the only gloss that I've got here that's like still a little bit clear, so I'm gonna put it on anyway because I do really like a glossy lip with natural makeup. The Fenty clear gloss is like my favorite, like that looks stunning with natural makeup. Oh my god, it's literally already stinging. Not me putting more on. I don't know why I'm such a baby when it comes to like lip plumping glosses. I never wear them because for some reason they actually cause me so much pain. Right, I'm gonna take some micellar, just like get any makeup off my hands. Because somehow I always end up covered in it. Oh my god. It's burning. It is burning. Okay. Why do I do this to myself? Like literally why? Like I knew this was gonna be painful and I've still put it on. Anyway, that is pretty much the finished makeup. Yeah, this is how I achieve more of like a dewy, glowy, natural, minimal, fresh, how many words can I use to describe it, look. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty simple and pretty easy. I don't really feel like there's a lot that can go wrong with it either, which is what I really like. I might actually just go under. That's sometimes that I like to do as well. I like to go under my cheeks with my beauty blender just to kind of like get rid of any excess product. Yeah, this is my more like everyday summer makeup. I really hope you guys like it. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I had anything else to say. I feel like that took me literally 10 minutes. Like I'm not joking, when I'm not filming this makeup and I'm just doing it every single day, it literally takes 10 minutes. Like it's my favorite thing to do when I just want something really quick and easy. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. Feel free to change out any of the steps if you want anything a little bit different. Obviously you could add foundation to this as well if you wanted to. I don't know, I just prefer it without foundation at the minute, even though I've been getting like blemishes and stuff. I quite like when my makeup just looks minimal and it still looks like my skin. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. As I said, I'm going to York this weekend. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna vlog it just because I feel like it's going to be like a nice, like romantic, just, you know, quality time getaway. But I do actually have a really fun week next week, and I'm also going to Rome next week, so I'm thinking I'm gonna vlog the week leading up to it, and then obviously my trip to Rome with Millie as well, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, I love you guys as always. I hope you're having a lovely weekend, and I will see you in the next one.